Welcome to Connecting the Dots, the Longevity Playbook. This is part 2 of the Zova Life episode with Dr. Dorsa Jalaei. In part 1, Dorsa shared her story behind Zova Life, a company determined to make longevity science both affordable and personalized. In this episode, we put that vision to the test. After going through Zova's premium intake myself, from lifestyle analysis to a medical review to submitting my own blood work, I'm sitting down with Dorsa to walk through the full client experience. This isn't about just one report. It's about what a new model of preventative, data-driven care can look like at scale. As we unpack the findings, we also explore how Zova's approach could serve as a blueprint for insurers, executive health providers, and digital health platforms looking to deliver smarter, more personalized care. Let's connect the dots. Welcome back to this week's episode of Connecting the Dots, the Longevity Playbook. I'm back with Dr. Dorsa Jalaei. We had a podcast episode a couple of weeks ago introducing Zova Life as an accessible, affordable, hyper-personalized longevity service. And for me, after the episode, I really wanted to know more about how Zova Life really worked and what you get out of it. So I'm coming back this time with the customer experience, because I went through the general longevity intake, and I got the general longevity report that you would get as a premium customer. And Dorsa's going to tell us later about how it goes from general to specific women's health options. But I wanted to share my experience as a customer, because I think that will help people connect the dots on how the service could work for them and how the service could work as a business partnership. So welcome back, Dorsa.
Thank you, Jennifer. I'm super happy to be here right now again. And thank you for the opportunity you gave us. I really appreciate. And also, it's super inspiring for me, because Jennifer was one of our healthiest clients, that she had a great lifestyle. And also because, lots of people think that because I'm doing exercise, or I'm taking supplements, or I'm health conscious enough to do my lab tests, this is not any rooms for improvement. But in the Jennifer case, which is one of our best and healthiest clients, we can also see that there are a huge room for improvement to be much more healthy than you are right now. So, and Jennifer, you are inspiring for me, because I can see that the amount of love and passion you already have for your work, for your life. It seems that this is the real longevity, because lots of women in your age, they think that, okay, this is enough, and I'm in the path that I'm not as vital as I used to. But because I follow you on Instagram, I can see your lifestyle, I can see what are you doing, your trips, your exercise routine, and I do appreciate that. Bravo.
Thank you very much. Well, I want to share my report and my journey. So I will be sharing some very personal medical history, and I do that in the spirit of, I feel like a lot of women that are in my age group. And what is my age group at this moment? So next week I turn 49. I'm very much in the perimenopause, menopause chapter of my life. And the reason, like my personal reason and interest and priority as I completed the Zova intake, was to address my sleep, because that has been the most disruptive for me. And then, of course, that just has a domino effect of, a domino effect in all of the different lifestyle pillars that I would like to be going particularly well in my life. And I think, of course, if you are, ambitious and you are a relatively physical person, you have this expectation that, or this hope that you don't want things to change. You want to be able to continue to do what you always did and what always made you happy. And you have to figure out how to navigate the current situation. And I think, because there's a big women's health data gap. Many women feel that there's a big question mark on, what should I be doing? What advice should I be taking? Are my symptoms actually symptoms? So what I really, really loved in this whole process is that the guesswork was taken out of my specific scenario. So how did it start? I got a link to take a detailed intake. That was followed by an appointment with a 30-minute appointment with a medical doctor where my intake was reviewed, and generally speaking, and this is what I want to ask, like I already had very recent and very detailed blood work done, but if that wasn't the case, what would I have been asked to do?
Jennifer, as I mentioned in our previous podcast together, what we are trying to do is to remove the barriers for entering to the longevity path, because having healthy lifestyle is hard when you think of it, and people love to postpone it as much as possible that they can. So
Yep.
if our client doesn't have any blood biomarker test, this is not another barrier to not starting the longevity path. We are committed to be evidence-based and data-driven, but with just that questionnaire that you filled, we gather lots of data based on your questionnaire, and we can fix lots of the things from that questionnaire.
Okay.
And because it's a journey, we tell you which test, that it can be a lab test, it can be a body composition test, it can be a rapid test that you can buy it from drugstore, and other thing can be beneficial for you based on your budget. So not having a blood test, it's not any barrier anymore, and we are not giving you some interventions that they need blood tests, because our price is affordable, and we do believe that this is something that people can continue. So because of that, it's not any barrier for entering to the longevity path.
Wonderful. And like full transparency, the reason that I do blood work twice a year, because for the past 3 years I've been on HRT due to perimenopause symptoms. So we test nutritional deficiencies, cholesterol level, inflammation, and hormonal level, so that with my doctor I can continue to tweak the HRT to make sure that it's doing what it needs to do while I go through this period. So that's the information that you got in advance of this report. And then after I provided that blood work, I received a very thorough longevity report. And we're going to share bits of that right now. But what I wanted to say, and I reached out to you and I said, can we record this as a podcast? Because I really feel like other people need to see it. The reason that I feel other people need to see it is because this gave me such a sense of calm and confidence that, someone had taken all of this information about me, my main priorities, and distilled it for me into very concrete, actionable recommendations for me in multiple different lifestyle pillars. And I think that that's so valuable because, you're always guessing, or I've always been guessing. Like I try to do the best with what I can, but I feel like with this information, even the small changes that I read about a couple of nights ago, like changing my fasting window, had an immediate effect on my sleep. I was like, wow, already small steps, already great results. So take us through. This is essentially the first page of my report. Take us through my report and what this means for me, so that other people can imagine what that this would mean for them.
So this is kind of your longevity encyclopedia for a period that it can be 3 months. Because after 3 months, because based on science, when we are giving some intervention, we need to reassess your body after 3 months to be sure that they are working. So this is your encyclopedia for your longevity path for 3 months. So it's not another longevity report that you just need to read it and finish it. No, it's something that you can come over again and just forget about something and come over. But we design it in a way that it helps you to see what you're doing good and you need to continue it, what you're not doing good, and what small modification can replace to them, and a to-do list that, for example, these are your priorities. If you want to make an effort, please be focused on this period. So it has 5 parts. First of all is the analytics part. We take your main problem. For example, for you was going through the menopause and also your sleep disorder that you already, that's not a disorder, no, your sleep, you have a problem.
Challenges.
Challenges, yeah, your sleep challenges. So this is your main problem. Jennifer, the main thing is that when you're talking about, for example, longevity and extending healthy lifestyle, it's not something tangible for our clients because they think that, okay, this is not, it's about the future. I have some a real-time problem. So what we're trying to offer is that we have a solutions with minimum side effects because they are lifestyle based for your immediate problems that you are facing. So when first we will fix them, and with that we will enter you the path of longevity. So it has the analytics part, lifestyle modification part. For lifestyle modification, we have diet part, we have exercise part, we have sleep part. But the main point is that they are super integrated. When you're talking about diet, and this is connected to your sleep routine, it is connected to your exercise routine, because we're talking about one system, one complex system that is our body. So we cannot see that body from different point of views. They are all connected. And the last part is that that's not the last, another part is the further diagnostic part. For further diagnostic part, we will cover what you need to be focused on. For example, for your case that we will see in your report is that, for example, your LDL level, you should be concerned. You shouldn't be concerned. You should follow it up. Watch it. Because of the menopause and other thing, your insulin resistance we should be focused on, and the other part. And also we have a screening test that for women at your age, with your lifestyle and with your therapies that you're taking, like HRT, what are the screening tests that you should be focused on, and what is the duration of each of them. And based on that, for those who have lab result like yourself, we have a blood analyze. This is one of the part that I really love, because in longevity we have different normal range with normal, for example, lab results. For example, because in longevity we can see that we don't just see your current situation, we see your future situation. For example, maybe when you take your lab result, everything is fine and they're not flagged. But when we see the correlation, when we see the different biomarkers, we can predict with the AI behind that you may be in a path of metabolic syndrome. You may be in a path for insulin resistance. So this is a kind of point of view that we have for analyzing your blood biomarker. Again, this is totally based on data, based on big data that we already have data sets for that. And the last part is the supplementation, which lots of our clients, they are taking supplements, and because supplement industry is not regulated and we already have lots of marketing around it, so it's very important for us. As you know, I'm pharmacist, so I'm super concerned about this part, because supplements, they are over the counter, but for your case we can see that you're covering for your vitamin D level is imaginary. It's very rare to see a woman at your age that the vitamin D level is as much as good as you are. So you are doing lots of things great, but also we can see the excess in your basics, and also
Yep.
you're taking multivitamin, that multivitamin for women like you, that you're covering all the aspects of your lifestyle, from taking all the micronutrients and macronutrients you need and other thing. Very great. This is not necessary, so you should stop some of them,
Yep.
and you can add some smart supplementation, for example berberine for yourself. So this
Yep.
is the whole report. This is what whole report is about. It's about fully analyzing and also give Jennifer some practical
Personal, practical
sure.
and personal. Yeah.
Exactly, and see where Jennifer is standing right now. Not generic, not another generic solutions for her, because we know that she is in this path, and what she's passionate about can can guide us to, okay, what other things can be adds on her routine that because of that she can take short-term advantages, mid-term advantages, and we will be sure that she will take the long-term advantages from this lifestyle.
So I want to dive in on two things, and then we'll go into the report. So
Okay.
one of the things that came out of my blood work that you flagged was that I had really high levels of vitamin B6. And in our last conversation, you talked about when I asked you, like, what's the thing that you're afraid of in terms of longevity, and the supplementation market was one of the things that you're like, you need to be very careful about. So what I did after I saw that in my report, I checked my multivitamin. So I recently changed the supplement company that I purchased from, because, after some Google desk research, I saw that there were three supplement companies that actually do third-party testing. And one of those supplement companies was a company that's based in Denmark called Pharma Nord. So I ordered my multivitamin and vitamin B from Pharma Nord. Anytime in my whole life that I've taken a multivitamin, which is a lot, the dose for multivitamin is always two multis at the beginning of every day, or when you have your first meal. So I've always just been in the habit of taking two multivitamins. I went and I looked at that multivitamin. That multivitamin already had 200% of the recommended daily allowance of vitamin B6. Then I take a DIM supplement, which is based on broccoli for cleaning out the estrogen byproducts. That's also got a B6 in that supplement. And then I had been using for the past, I think 18 months, a sleep gummy with melatonin and more B6. So it's something that I didn't even think of in terms of supplementation stacking, because I was just like, a multivitamin is good. I've been told by my HRT doctor to take this DIM supplement, and the sleep gummy was just, a compensation that I was doing to try something to help my sleep. And in the end, it backfired, and I wouldn't have known it had backfired unless I was monitoring it. So that's one of the things that I wanted to zoom in on, because it is something that you had said in the previous episode around watch your supplements, watch your supplements. And then my lesson to this is read your supplements, read your supplements. And then the other thing, I and am an avid listener to all of the different longevity podcasts like the Huberman Lab. And one of the things that they talk about a lot is that the norm ranges for results are changing because the population norm gets sicker. So, I wonder, and maybe like, is there a go back to before we were a really sick population? Is there a healthy, vital data set that we should be working towards in these measurement values for hormones and function?
Jennifer, this is place that I myself, I do believe that we need to trust to the public health
Yeah.
and public health institutes and what are they doing. So yeah,
Right.
this is the changes, but I myself, I'm not concerned
Okay.
because we are, nowadays what we are trying to do is to stay in the edge of the knowledge. For
Yeah.
example, all the articles, we have some differences between the average normal range and also the longevity normal range. For example, in the
Right.
latest studies, we can see the effect of ferritin, not excess ferritin, because it's still in the normal range, but when we see with the point of view of aging, we need to keep ferritin in another normal range, which is not as same as the normal range. So
Right.
what we are trying to do is to be updated with, because nowadays we have lots of research, we have lots of things that they are doing in the healthcare segment. So what we are trying to do is just still update it and trust to those institutes and also public health because I think they know what to do. And
Yeah.
if we do not trust it, we need to just be obsessive and
Yeah.
overthink about all the things. But
Yeah. Yeah. We crack everything open.
yeah, exactly.
Okay, let's dive in. So, um, for me, when I looked at this report, I just my framework is like the pillars of lifestyle medicine, the six pillars of lifestyle medicine, which basically this goes into. So you've given me an overall longevity score, and then we start with nutrition. We already have a lot of information from my intake on what my current nutrition is. And I mean, my current nutrition I thought was pretty good. I built up to a 16-8 fast window, and I try to eat a lot of protein. I try to eat a lot of vegetables consistently, and I'm one of those really boring people who is very consistent on a lot of things, and I have gradually been cutting alcohol out of my life and haven't had anything to drink in close to a year. So it's just like I'm doing well, but still there are points for me to consider. So could you maybe share what the big correction was, or big advice was for me in terms of an easy correction I would make that would make a big effect on those other categories?
Of course. First of all, you can see different segments here that we have FDA, we have Food and Drug Administration. So
Hmm.
food can be a good medication for our body. And we
Hmm.
are seeing Jennifer's diet based on her body's requirement. You are in the path of HRT, you're taking HRT, and also you're struggling with some of the menopause symptoms. So,
Yes.
what we can do with your diet is we can add lots of advantages from the natural source to your
Hmm.
body. So we can see here the hormone harmony that we
Yeah.
are adding some micronutrients and macronutrients from natural source to uh, to make you feel better in your this developmental phase. So as you
Yeah.
can see, can you scroll it? For example, we
Uh,
have. Yeah.
that,
We have two main things. One is hormone harmony. Your body is navigating postmenopausal changes with the support of HRT. To make the most of it and to metabolize estrogen safely, your liver and gut need a specific dietary support. So what are they? You can see here we have flax seeds. It's just 1 teaspoon daily, so they're not something very expensive. They're just small modification that, because Mediterranean diet, it contains lots of natural things that it can increase estrogen in your body in a good way. You know, it's not excessive. It's kind of things that your body can absorb. So here we can see some small modification that you can add, and you can see the more benefits from your HRT. And also we have, because in the postmenopausal part we have the metabolic issue in lots of women, we are talking about metabolic stability and longevity activation. Your labs hints at early warning signs, a slightly elevated LDL, and signs your kidneys are working harder. This doesn't mean disease. Because of that, whenever you go to a your healthcare provider, because you are in your normal range, they do not prescribe any medication for you, and the answer you just get is to fix your lifestyle. And what we are trying to offer is that how you can fix your lifestyle to save your body from become, for example, disease. Yeah, it means your diet has the power to protect you from what might come from shift toward a plant forward plate vegetable. You're talking about how your dish should be designed as soluble fiber daily from oats, chia seeds, that they can be helpful for your hydration, and it can be helpful for your EGFR that we will see in your lab results. And keep enjoying healthy fats but moderate saturated fats from meats and cheese. So we can scroll it, because in the diet part we are talking about different things again. Okay, we are talking about what your body needs in this era. You can see, for example, postmenopause, we have reduced estrogen impact, we have lower progesterone, we have gut-liver axis, we have insulin sensitivity and mitochondrial change. So this is our physiology, and this is what our body is facing. So how we can target each of them with accessible things that we already have, but we need to choose it very smart. So yeah, we have some pathways here because we are a longevity company, and we need to educate our clients in order to know what are aging pathways. But what we are trying to do is make them very simplified. Just hear about them. They're not this is not an academic course. This is something that you can see through your diet. We have some pathways like sirtuin, we have like AMPK and other thing, and we add also this into your report for just for your more information, to know that what actions that you are doing, they are having an effect on your aging pathways, and it can decrease your aging rate.
I think that's so great, because one of the other things that we discussed on the last podcast was the fact that a lot of medical services are not able to connect with the end consumer with the right messaging to trigger them. And I think about it as I doom scroll on social media, how smart so many of the companies are about like really poking the pain points and providing that solution, because we want to avoid pain, and if we can solve it with one click, it seems like it's like, oh, they understand my pain, so they get me, but they don't get you because they're not looking at you. They know the pain point that many of us have, but not the solution that really is going to help fix the situation. So that's this really helps me clear the noise that I'm getting from all of those other inputs, because I'm like, that's not for me, this is for me. And I think that's so powerful.
Thank you.
Where shall I go next?
I think it's, for example, I just, for the diet part, I will talk about the fasting part. Jennifer, we have intermittent fasting. Those times that you need to rest your body, they are essential, because excessive fasting can have side effects for your body, especially for women with their body and with the hormonal balances. So people hear about fasting and what the benefit it has, but they don't know the best benefits are when you're doing it right. For example, for you, we just talked about that how you should restructure your fasting routine, because to take the best advantages from it. So this is just a thing that I want to talk about fasting. Lots of people, they do, especially women. There are some controversial studies about, for women, even fasting above 15 hours is not good for their hormonal balances. But we are not telling them, because we need more researches on that. And as you may know, we have lack of research for the women health. So what we are trying to do is to maintain your fasting routine in a way that you just do not make your body be anxious and your cortisol level increases, because your body think that, okay, I'm in the starving mode and I need to just storage more fat. This is the thing that happens when you do excessive fasting. So I think we can go to the to the exercise part.
Yes, absolutely. And just on that, like when I think this was about 45, when I turned 45, an extra 7 kilos showed up on my body, and it seemed like it was overnight. And all of the things that I had been doing in the past to manage body fat and manage weight just did not seem to work. And then that it was also right at the hype of the intermittent fasting, and of course you see these surges and things. I mean, the other surge that's happening, at least for women right now, is like, eat more protein, eat more protein. But one of the things that I saw in my report that I think is really important, and it's not trending right now on the lifestyle advice, is fiber. And that it's like, that's got to be more important than protein, because if I can't absorb and metabolize protein because of poor gut health, what's the point of shoving down so much protein? So I thought that was for me. There was a couple of reflections. Like, I started intermittent fasting because it was something so vastly different from what I was doing, and then all of a sudden I had a positive body composition change. So I just like white knuckled it, and I was like, this is the way forward. It's not easy, and I'm very happy to shift back into a 12-hour fasting window as opposed to a 16-hour fasting window. And as I said, when we got started today, I noticed a better sleep immediately. We'll see if that's a placebo effect, but I like the feedback. The feedback is good so far.
Jennifer, I just, because we're in the diet part, I just want to. It's not related to your report, but you already have an insight about microbiomes and gut microbiomes, and I just want to tell to our audiences that another hype that I'm a bit concerned of is the microbiome trends, because
Yeah.
lots of products in the market, they are claiming about microbiome and microbiome health and how they can be beneficial for your health. In this stage, what I just want to talk about is that we are not in that step in the science that we can provide to the point and specific microbiome friendly products in the market. But we nowadays we know about the importance of microbiome, gut microbiome, how they can have an effect on your mood, how can they have an effect on your sleep routine or other things. One thing that I want to just spot on it is that we can benefit from natural sources. When I'm talking about natural sources, please, please, please do not do not take me wrong that I'm talking about some natural things, natural therapies. No, 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 no. I'm talking about a diet, a leafy food with different colors. They are, for example, if you're talking about having fiber, having salads before your meals or in your meals, you can add different kind of vegetables with different colors. They are gut friendly. instead of having, for example, sachet or, for example, another exogen product. You can just have some small modification and be microbiome friendly, and take the benefits. You don't need to take some other things, or there's
Right.
a hype outside about, for example.
Prebiotic, probiotic, like, yeah.
Exactly, exactly.
Yeah, and again, I mean, I got the lesson from my blood test again with the supplements, and this is the thing that kind of, sticks in my head with all of the claims is like, if you can't test it, how do you know? It's just like you're taking a pill and a prayer. So yeah, I think that again, wise advice and good reality check. Um, the report goes into this level of detail with all of my different lifestyle factors, and I don't think we'll have time to go into the detail of it all, but like, is there another section you want to zoom into, because I want to make sure that we can talk about the women's health piece and the partnership piece
Okay.
today as well.
I think, for example, we saw here a diet part. Even in the
Yeah,
diet part, you can see the section feeding deep sleep.
yeah,
So we are targeting Jennifer's sleep routine with her diet, and you're talking that how science says that those interventions can have effect. So we can scroll Jennifer to just
yep,
exercise part and also
yep.
sleep part. Yeah, these are a good diet. We can go.
No,
We are talking.
it's a lot of really wonderful information. Um,
Exactly. Here, for example, we are talking about different exercise routine Jennifer has. Again, we can scroll. We are just deep diving in longevity pillars of movement, what you're doing good for your longevity in your exercise
mhm.
routine. Because we have four pillars. We have a strength training, endurance training, balance training, and flexibility routine. And we are talking about how her routine is fit with longevity lifestyle, and also we have a fun test for her fitness journey, what we are trying to do in this. You can scroll when I'm
Yeah,
talking
talk.
about.
Yeah,
Yeah, what we are trying to do here is that we give you the best references, or even YouTube. It can be YouTube videos, it can be podcasts,
yeah,
but personalized for your body, and they are
yeah.
all validated by our medical team. So you don't need to be
Okay.
blind and just go somewhere and trust somewhere. And also, we will be introduce two variables for Jennifer that it can be beneficial for her. For example, there is a Whoop, and also there is an Aura Ring. Aura Ring just launched a women health sensor for people, for women, and I do appreciate them because they're doing great things. But for Jennifer, our suggestion was Whoop because she has the problem. She needs to be focused on her recovery, and Whoop has better gamification and better data on the recovery part. So here we
Okay.
just have a conclusion for her, that what are the best next steps for
Yeah,
her, that you can just see here. And the next part is a sleep part. That was
yeah.
one of the most important things that Jennifer had claims for. Jennifer Sleep, the foundation of longevity. Again, we can scroll. We have Dr. Andrew Huberman video here. We are talking about leveraging technology for better sleep, as I talk with
Mhm.
you. So we have analytics, we have some modification, and also we have, for your more information, where you should go and what you should see. And I think,
Yeah, you
yeah.
you go through what's probably going on, and then also what I need to think about in terms of sleep, because I think we think about sleep right before we go to sleep, but it's actually further down the chain of the day that sets us up for good or bad sleep. And I think, for me, adjusting caffeine intake, that's easy. Shutting off my devices is going to be the thing that's hard. And you've only told me 30 minutes before. Like, I've also read articles that are 2 hours before. I'm like, 2 hours before bed,
Oh, yeah.
not checking messaging. Oh my gosh. So, but no, I find it like really, really accessible and again, very concrete and personalized.
Great, great. Okay, I think yeah, we can see here Jennifer's because the sleep is just not it's not just about the time you go to the bed. It's just
Yeah,
about your whole day. It's about your circadian rhythm. So, however, for example, when you wake up, if you wake up in a good way, you will
yeah,
have a better sleep at that night. So what we are trying to do is that we are talking about the circadian rhythm of Jennifer, we are talking about cortisol peak of Jennifer, and how some small interventions through the day can have an effect on having a better sleep at night. So we are
yeah,
targeting her sleep with this approach. So I think the next part is your further diagnostics, yeah?
yeah,
Well, it's lab data. Okay, as we
yeah,
mentioned before, we just analyzed her lab data fully, and we are seeing her lab data was perfect. There's not any places that we should be concerned or, for example, prescribe something for her. But there are some spots that we can be more aware of. For example,
yeah,
we talked about the LDL, we were talking about the normal range, the optimal range, and we have the longevity strategy. For example, if we have a slightly elevated LDL, we need to increase omega 3s from
yeah,
fatty fish, chia seeds, soluble fiber like flax seeds, and consider plant strolls like reduced saturated fats.
yeah,
We have I think, yeah, this is your cholesterol panel that we just
yeah,
mentioned. We have the kidney function here. As you can see, there's the EGFR. The longevity range is, we are talking about here. This value suggests early age-related kidney slowdown, not
yeah,
dangerous, but worth monitoring. Longevity
right,
strategy is focused on hydration. You're talking about hydration in longevity, but why is essential for you? You need to hydrate yourself with 2.5 or 3 liters per day, and
yeah,
also limit excess animal protein and reduce sodium. These are the
yeah,
longevity intervention that we are going to tell you, because you can be sure that your kidney aging can be slower down. We're talking about fasting glucose, we're talking about vitamin D, and we're talking about the vitamin B6 here, that
yeah,
upper functional range. Her range was upper functional range. This is significantly elevated, likely due to supplements. Chronically
yeah.
high B6 can cause nerve-related symptoms, so the longevity strategy was consider cutting your dose in half or taking it every other day. So this is the analysis of her lab data.
Super, super, super helpful. And then,
You
so
have
I've got
mentioned,
a,
yeah,
yeah,
that you should monitor, you should, when you want to do another test, what areas you should be monitor very different.
okay. Like this was already, it gave me a huge feeling of, and this section. So the next steps on my lab results, like concrete, what do I do? And then preventative health. And this is, of course, something that, if you're a proactive patient, you go to your doctor and you're like, I'd like these things, but you don't necessarily know what to ask for. So this is just as like, okay, I have a 6 point to-do list to take to my GP, and I feel like that's then I can be on top of my health and my preventative health care strategy, which, yeah, feels really good.
Yeah, and Jennifer, lots of, as I mentioned before, 80% of death, uh, 80% of all-cause mortality, they are preventable by diagnostic and early diagnostics. So we do not have anything better than being conscious about the screening test. And we
Yeah,
already have a technology, and also lots of them, they are covered by insurance system.
yeah,
So, the main point is just doing it and
Yep.
knowing about the importance of each of them. As we just I know lots of them, there are something that people know about, like mammography, like pap smear, like colorectal cancer. But for example, colorectal cancer is not as familiar as other thing, but it's
Yep.
when you have diagnostic, um, it's just that for it's not annually, it's just not for every 10 years you need to just screen once in a 10 years, so it can be beneficial for you. And at least I think the last part is the supplementation.
Yeah. So, yeah, that was also great because again, taking guesswork out of supplementation. So, yeah, as you mentioned, it was like these are specific supplements for my longevity recommendation based on my intake and my blood work.
Exactly. We have some supplements that we told you to continue, like omega-3. We
Yeah.
have some supplements to consider modify or reduce, like vitamin D,
Yeah.
multivitamin, and probiotics. And we
Yeah.
recommend to start some supplements like berberine because of the cholesterol shifts, the cholesterol,
Hmm.
elevated cholesterol we saw in your blood result. And for all of them, we just refer to the best articles in the science part, so you know that they are totally evidence-based and also personalized for your body. And done. This is your longevity report. And at the end, what we try to do is keep you engaged in this path. It's just not in a
Yeah.
way that you just take a report and say goodbye to us. No, we have a CRM. We are by your side whenever you have a question. We are here. And also, for example, in this report we told you that if you want to buy other supplement, please send us to check it if it's the best supplementation for you. If you hear about something new in the market and you don't know if it's the best for you, because we already have your medical dashboard for ourselves,
Yeah.
we can guide you if it's the best thing for you or not. So this is not just a one-time journey. We are by your side to be your buddy in your path and help you to be CEO of your own health.
Yeah. That, I mean, again, this I'm so happy that you gave me the opportunity to go through this because I feel like it's so powerful. I'm hoping that the people who are listening to the podcast are like, okay, yeah, this is the gap that I've had in my preventative healthcare, my longevity strategy, because it takes so much guesswork out of it that it's incredibly powerful. So thank you very much
Thank you.
for the opportunity and walking it through. Like for me, there's really no question that I would like to continue on this path because I'm pointed in the right direction. You're giving me the trail map that I was just kind of wandering through the forest, and now all of a sudden I have a compass. So that's really phenomenal. I wanted to make sure that you also had an opportunity to talk about the women's health piece of Zova Life. So can you introduce what that means and what that means to your customers and potential partners?
Thank you. Because Zova is founded by women, so we have an obsession for women health, and also we see the gap in the market. We are seeing the places that we can. There are lots of women that they are suffering from some symptoms. They're not. It's not disease. They just don't know to how I can navigate from this phase.
Yeah.
And we have a great partners in this field because we have a great scientist here. They know me. They know Zova, so we have a good advisory board around us. So what
Sure.
we are trying to offer is that there are lots of things from analytics part, from
Yeah.
knowledge part, and from lifestyle modification that they can have a huge impact in how we feel and how we can go through these different developmental phases we face in our lifetime journey. And why women, despite of being a woman myself, and they are our women clients, they are perfect because our marketing strategy is referral. We
Yeah.
have what we are trying to do is that happy clients and happy customers, they bring other clients for us. And it's very impressive for us because, for example, each of our women clients, they are super proactive to introducing us, like yourself. You're trying to help us. There are other women, they also do this for us. So women community, they're super supportive, they're learners, and because of that, we saw this opportunity to make an impact in the field that there is gap of. I cannot say there is a gap of products. Yeah, of course it is, but we can see that there is a gap of roadmap, and there are lots of questions in the market, and people, they don't know whom to ask. So what we're trying to offer is that based on different stage that you are in, for example, it can be in your menstrual stage, it can be in your perimenopausal stage, it can be your menopausal stage and postmenopausal stage. We design all the part of your lifestyle based on your needs, based on the latest research in this field. And and we already have lots of webinars in this, Jennifer. Weekly we have webinars in different things. Our main focus nowadays is in the runner community, and our main two services, runner community and in the women health community. So if you can see that okay, I don't know which of these symptoms that I am facing right now, like hot flash, like brain fog, like not as being as vital as I used to be, which of them are natural, which of them they are not natural, which screening test do I need to have, or which products in the market are the best fits for me, which routines are the best for me, how much amount of exercise is the best fit for me, or there are lots of questions that we have answer for them, but not generic answer, personalized for our clients. We can offer them. This is not a totally different service. This is the same service as the service you took, but the main point is that this is wholly focused for women, and we are trying to make a community of women in their different phases, so they can have a supportive community that they can hear the shared experience and other things.
Be very proactive on our journey so that we can feel best, be best, you know, exist in our best lives. That's really, 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 really amazing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make sure to link my report and to link all of the specific areas where people can find information out about the different Zova programs. You know, I'm just like, I always think from a business to business standpoint, because most of our audience are business owners, and you know, as the collective, our goal is to take all of these pieces of, you know, health, public health, physical activity, and try to get people working together. So it would seem to me that maybe a good potential partnership for Zova could be a credible supplements company. Like that could be something that would work, because you're recommending supplements, or like I was imagining, you know, other kinds of health clinics that don't have the capacity to offer this coaching and service to also be able to recommend what you're offering, so that they could, you know, round out their customer experience, or like complete that circle of, you know, on this journey of longevity, but they're not willing or able to do like the blood work and the recommendations, but they're maybe filling another piece of that puzzle. Who else do you see yourself working with? Yeah, you're wide open. Okay, great.
Yeah, we are wide open to that, because we are already doing this for our runner service, for runner longevity service. We are working with different longevity runner coach that it's kind of B2B2C. They have their clients, and they have this lack of knowledge of different part of the health, and what we are trying to do, we co-branded with them, and also they will them some running plans, and we will cover the rest, like sleep routine, supplement routine, screening test routine, all the diagnostic tests they need to have. And we are open to have a collaboration with any domains of this health. Because we have a holistic approach. For example, it can be a gym with clients that beside the exercise routine, we can offer them the diet part, supplement part, blood test part, and analytics of blood tests and other thing. We can make a partnership with supplementation. I will be surprised if any supplement company comes to us because we are lots of times.
You've got high standards, right? But that would give me a lot of trust if it was like, okay, Dorsa says yes, then I'm like, okay, I can take this supplement.
Thank you. And also, for example, different communities, because right now we are working with a community in London, and they are a group of people who are concerned for their health and wellness, and they don't know where to go. They just ask their question in the Reddit, or they ask some questions in the group. So we are working with them as a health buddy, as a health partner here, to ask whatever you need, and we are here. So yeah, we are wide open to be a longevity health specific body for all the related businesses that they have. They want to offer a scientific, evidence-based, personalized service to their clients.
So, I mean, in a nutshell, and to wrap it up, it's like if you have a potential customer group that might be asking a lifestyle question to Reddit, or is going to Dr. Google or Dr. Chat GPT, maybe it's time to book an appointment with Dr. Dorsa Jalaei about how to round out your lifestyle service so that you have something that's comprehensive, that's personal, that's scalable, and that is based on the whole person and holistic lifestyle and well-being. That's amazing. Thank you for doing what you're doing, and thank you for making me healthier already after a day. So I'm really happy to report back in after 3 months of making these lifestyle modifications. I feel
we just check you, we check your different symptoms, we will send you different articles that they are based on your condition, and we try to be active because you are proactive in your health journey, and we are here for you, and we'll be in touch to be sure that every step is evidence-based, personalized, and smart enough.
Wonderful.
Thank you for this opportunity, Jennifer. I really appreciate it.
It was my pleasure.
Thanks for tuning in to Connecting the Dots. If today sparked a new idea, helped shift your thinking, or gave you something to take forward, share it, rate the show, or drop us a message. And don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss the next conversation. Until then, keep connecting the dots that matter.